Hello and welcome to the second episode of our experimental RPG of Prize Fighter, where we're trying out different systems. And this week we've changed stamina and spellcasting. Although, in fairness, we haven't really changed spellcasting so much as realised what the intended rule was. Right, so where were we last week? Who's going to recap for us? Because I seriously can't remember last week.
Well, we didn't do that one last week.
It was 2 weeks ago.
What about the week before?
The reason you can't remember last week is because you were otherwise detained. 2 weeks ago, there was a big fight. We did all right.
Well, I did.
We got back to the Ludus. Didn't do so well.
I do remember casting lightning bolt on. Was it a load of chickens?
Yeah,
no, it wasn't chicken. It was a memphit.
Oh right, yeah, the memphits.
There was a bunch of
really
memphits that supposedly were there to teach us our reflexes and how to dodge and stuff. But our caster decided to electrocute a lot of them instead, and as such, Atratos is Ataratos has been he's having to show himself worthy and fight the sort of Ludus champion, if I remember rightly. Something like that. I know we all got chained up or something.
Yeah, I just thought I was chained up. I didn't know anything about a Ludus champion.
Well, we did.
I think we were all meant to be in it at some point because we were all,
Yeah, but now Becky's doing an evil grin.
Hi, Stephen.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, no, that kind of reminds me where we were at. So, right, good. I mean, reminds the audience, as it were. Yes, I know what's going on. This is a well-planned session. So,
you said that with a straight face as well.
I was coding until 0 seconds before I started setting the stream up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, trying to get this blinking animation driver working for the new prize fighter game. Right. So, yes, you wake up. It is a Saturday or whatever. Kind of doesn't matter. Days of the week. I don't know. It was a day. There's a new day. So the old day that was is no longer. Now it's a fresh day.
So you were tossed some fresh day, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good.
It's in the old or new calendar.
This will be in the Julian calendar.
Yeah, I had the Julian calendar. He wasn't as hot as people said he was.
Oh God damn it!
Some of the swimwear shots were nice, but other than that, Julian just didn't really have it.
I think it's because the lack of photocopiers meant every calendar copy was hand drawn, right?
That's right. Yeah. It was definitely depending on the drawer. There was some definite discrepancies in how he was built and anatomy and so on.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so a fresh day dawns, and you're tossed some mouldy bread.
Still mouldy bread.
Yeah, you're going to get mouldy bread until you've earned your place in this Ludus, says the trainer. I need to give him a name.
Then we get porridge.
Was it Aetius? Is that why I wrote Aetius at the bottom? It could
Possibly.
be. So the trainer's name, I have decided, is Aetius. When you've earned your place here, you can have porridge like the rest of us. Breakfast of good Roman champion. But today, I'm afraid, it is Clay Day.
Clay Day?
Yes, so make your way out onto the training grounds. Not inside the ring. Because this is your Ludus behind me here.
Right.
I've decided, having randomly downloaded it off National Geographic, despite the fact they copyrighted it. Okay, because their version doesn't have me or all the initiative tracker on, so it's a derivative work. It's fine. So you go.
You know, it may strike this video for that comment.
So presumably after eating some moldy bread, you head out into the training area. And when you get out there, there are these 3 very colourfully dressed gentlemen, or 2 colourfully dressed gentlemen, and 1 woman who's... You've never seen fashion like it. Accessorize is an understatement. She has bangles going so far up her arm, you're surprised she can bend it.
Thank God you said an M at the end there. I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Same.
It's not cooperation.
Yeah, different game. I mean, I can go that way if you want.
No,
Anyway.
no.
It's fine.
Anyway, on seeing you enter, the woman says, "Oh, lovely, fantastic. Oh, it's so wonderful. Okay. Now, take your clothes off and pose." You
Pardon?
dared me.
Yeah, I don't think the Romans were quite as inhibited as we are these days, were they?
The Hunger Games, it's at the moment, considering we're only getting moldy bread, I'd say this was the Starving Games.
So, who gets their kit off?
Well, after looking at everyone else and deciding that it's probably part of my character to do so, I decide to method actor, and I strip off.
Okay. Method acting would mean you strip off here on stream, and to which I say, please don't.
Trust me when I tell you.
No. Anything you say here is TMI.
Trust me when I tell you. There's enough horror and terror in the world without me doing that.
You see,
Trust
now
me,
I've got a
ain't
mental
gonna
image.
happen.
You didn't have to go there, but now I have a mental image. Oh God.
I think I need to metaphorically strip off as well in order to make the scene a bit more okay.
Yeah, I think you just turned the tide of the whole stream are running.
What I'm here for.
Is it just us, or is it all the gladiators?
Yeah. There's other gladiators out in the area, but they are not stripped off.
At
Okay.
which point I turn to the lady and I say, flattering though this might be, is there a reason why it's only we 3 that have been asked to remove our clothing?
Oh, he's going to get himself whipped.
Just before I answer that, Phil, you were also asking a question there.
What are we actually wearing?
It's up to you, but I assume probably a loincloth and a tunic. Possibly you might have got some kind of skirt on because Roman times, that's normal.
Yeah, I was just sort of like a
It either be a skirt or a long tunic, yeah.
Yeah, long tunic. I'll take my long tunic off and stand there in my loincloth.
Okay. Now, darling, says one of the men, you still have cloth on you. Is that how you want to be portrayed?
By whom? You?
Well, yes, of course.
We're still. I'm still asking the lady, why only we 3?
Well, you're new.
So what you want to do is gaze upon our naked stature, and you treat us like sex objects.
A sex object?
Yes, objects of sexual pleasure.
Like a broom shaft or something?
Hopefully not.
I mean,
Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, welcome to Corporation the Centurion Year.
Honestly, I'm surprised you would even say such a thing. I mean, seriously, what's wrong with you? Just take your clothes off and pose. How hard is it? Are you?
Depends on who I can see.
Is the trainer standing nearby glaring at us?
No, everyone's just kind of going about their stuff. You can see there's a few other gladiators that are having a little bit of a spar with some wooden swords and shields. And there's nobody particularly shouting. People are kind of, it's the morning and they're getting going type thing. So there's some gladiators stretching and warming up. The trainer's talking to the owner. There's some women wandering across the courtyard at various points. You don't know who they are or what they're about, but they're fully normally clothed.
Oh, I mean, what
In answer to her question, how hard is it? More every second.
Still got a mental image of you naked, Ronnie. Please don't. I'm just kidding.
I'm surprised you want to gaze upon a Gaul in so much detail.
Well, of course. I mean, seriously. Can't you just, buff yourself a little,
Has he got some sort of? Has he got any sort of drawing stuff with him? Or?
No, but they do have a chest, a wooden chest that isn't yet open, and they've each got a table in front of them.
It might be for some sort of advertisements then, mightn't it? Put posters or something like that.
I look at the other two, and I semi-reluctantly remove, just kind of detach my loincloth and let it drop.
Mm-hmm.
And I go into a pose.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see the name of one of them. Pirelli.
Okay, so are you all naked and posing?
Yeah, I suppose. I'm a bit don't know what pose to do. So, and I look at Jason. What's your character again, Jason? Sorry, Ateros.
Ateratos. It's
Ateratos,
not hard, guys.
I'll look at Ateratos and sort of, we'll do it like that. And I'll probably do the same thing, but in the opposite direction, leaving the pit to do something in the middle. But it should be right for the pit. Spend most of the time naked. They don't rush around fighting people.
So basically, once you're all in a pose, the three of them open up this crate. They pull out clay, and they start sculpting.
Oh, clay day. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, it goes on for much of the morning. And the thing is, how are you guys doing for health, by the way?
I have barely any health, to which I mean 0.
14 health.
I have 16.
Very
Okay.
tough.
So, Ateratos, could you? Did you say you're actually on 0 health?
Yes, because of my choices, shall we say, yesterday, I didn't really get any sleep, if I remember rightly, so I didn't get any health back.
Okay. So, you're not able to keep this up for very long at all. And so you keep having to shift your position, and after a while, you're even struggling to stand, and everything's just a lot of effort. And so they sculpt away, and it takes about 6 hours or so until they're finished with the sculpt. And then the woman said, come on over, see what we've done for you all. And it was going to be fantastic. So basically, we're going to mold these up and get them out as soon as possible as the new people in the Colosseum.
Go over and check it out.
Okay,
Have you
so
done a good job.
Taylorgan and Jorita. Oh no, it'd be Hostinus, won't it? Sorry. Yeah, you have good statues. Roll a d20. If it is under your health, it's very good.
Actually, my health was 14. Sorry. Oh, 11.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty good.
got out every die but a d20. Hang
Get
on,
out your metal
sorry,
dice
D20.
instead.
I rolled a 5, which is
Okay.
well under.
Yeah, yours is really good. In fact, you quite like it. It's the guy's done a really good job. Ataratos, you go up to the guy who just hasn't said a thing all day and he's been cussing under his breath and no. And then you go up to have a look at this sculpture, and it's like it's of somebody else, possibly a man. It's just really
maybe get my superior to feed me better meals and I'll pose better for you. As you can see, I'm just about standing.
If you could just, have a better form, maybe.
I would love to, but most of my muscles are at least split. And I make a point to show off like cuts and bruises and things.
Even like where the names have been carved underneath, your one is messy. Right. Well, we've got to get these in the oven. Back to whatever you do. And they cart them off and head inside the villa somewhere. And then you just kind of sort of stood there on the sands, and then one of the gladiators is just kind of sniggering at you guys. You've not spoken to this guy before. You're not sure, like, really who he is or, where he is in kind of pecking order, as it were. But he just kind of looks at you and sniggers, and he comes up to you and it's a bit of a small day for you then.
Is he talking to all of us or me specifically?
All of you.
Well, what do you mean?
Clearly, it was a longer day for us than it was for you.
Clearly?
Oh, yes.
Question.
Well, it in my case, quite clearly. In your case, we may require some sort of magnification.
Has he got a weapon on him?
No, he hasn't at this time.
Okay.
He is unarmed and unarmored. He's just
my
there in a loincloth. His muscles do ripple. I mean, he is clearly a very muscular guy.
What size are his feet?
His feet are size 13.
Clearly, the rumor is false about the correlation between foot size and other parts.
Yeah.
Oh, you're implying I have a small cock.
No, I'm not implying it. I'm stating it with absolute intent.
So he just takes off his loincloth and he's well endowed. And then he walks off laughing.
During years.
He walks off laughing. Doesn't even bother getting dressed again. And then the trainer comes over and says, about time you had some lunch.
About time
yes, under the circumstances, I think I'll skip the meat course.
Get some clothes on and get in the kitchen. The women are waiting for you. And he walks off.
I'll put your stuff up and get dressed in. I'm feeling hungry after 6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, you head into the kitchen and there are some women there, as hinted at by the trainer, Aetius. But they don't kind of acknowledge you as you enter the kitchen. So what do you do?
Is there like a stack of bowls on the way in or something?
Right. So the kitchen, it has some shelves with some bread. It has, it's not a fridge because this is Roman era, but it has kind of like a larder area, like a cooler room, just off the side that's got no sunlight. And there you can see some cheese and some meats in there, and also some grapes. You can see that there's some urns on one of the sides. You're not sure what that's about.
I think, given the state I'm in, I would be very compelled to just go and grab like some of the meat and cheese and stuff
Okay.
my face with it.
Okay, so you walk straight into the larder and do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some bread.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get some cheese. I'm going to get some grapes. I'm going to miss out the meat because, quite frankly, I've seen enough of that. Thank you. And I'm going to get some. Well, I take it there are pitchers of water.
You have a look for some water and you find empty pitchers. However, I will say you have noticed a well on the far side of the courtyard previously.
Well then, I will go and fill a pitcher.
Okay, so you head off out with your food and an empty pitcher.
Yep.
Hostinus, what do you do?
I'm going to say we were sent in for food.
Okay. A woman closest to you, she kind of looks at you, her mouth aghast, and says, "How dare you speak to me?"
I didn't necessarily speak to you. I just spoke to the room.
And again, and you call me a liar.
It was nice knowing you, Hostiness.
I will have your head removed. And she walks out of the kitchen and into the villa itself and screams, "Daddy!"
I'll start helping myself to food then, if that's what
Okay.
that's what it'll be.
So, all of you gain 3 hit points back for having some, finally, a decent meal.
Nice.
That's only up to maximum, though, isn't it?
Up to max, yeah.
Oh, shut up, you.
I think I'm at max.
And
14
you.
on max.
I've gone from 0 to 3, okay?
When
Do
you
need someone to feed you, do you?
Well, I mean, we weren't boasting about the fact that we were at maximum. I mean, we didn't want to say that we were at maximum. We knew it'd be really upsetting to you if we said that we were both at maximum. So we didn't really want to talk about the fact that we were both at maximum because we knew if we said we were both at maximum, it might be upsetting for you.
Yeah.
having fully or otherwise restored your health, you walk outside back into the domain where you're less likely to get your head cut off. And that big muscular guy is there, and he throws down metal swords in front of all of you.
Ooh. What, sharp
And
metal
then-
or just blunt?
Yeah.
I've got a
The
knife.
gladiators. And then he picks up a wooden training sword for himself and a shield. And he
I've got a
says,
knife.
"Time for you to practice."
Oh,
Oh. This is your-
can
We've
I at
got
least
swords,
have a
right?
drink of
No.
water first?
Not shields.
He hasn't given you shields, but he has given you metal swords.
Yeah, I got that. But obviously, he's so cocky, he's just going to use a wooden
Yeah.
one himself.
I was going to say, you're very confident without seeing this fight.
Yeah, well, I think he might have a second sword. It's just between his legs.
Okay. We are in initiative. So,
Right.
based on the order things that just happen to be on the initiative track, the Gaul, you are first.
And I'm definitely going to spend a lot of stamina.
I'm going to spend.
Hang on, it's Jason's go.
I think Ronnie was just making a remark, but yeah. Okay, so
No, actually, when Becky said the goal, I thought it was me. Sorry.
Wait. Yes. No,
I'm
you're
the
the picked. Yes.
Yeah. You're on the other side of the channel.
Yeah.
Okay, so presumably he's expecting us to attack him all at once, right?
Yeah.
So very Darth Maul style. Okay. So I've got I've got this flail, haven't I? Oh no, sorry, I haven't got that with me. What am I talking about?
Yes, right at the moment you are equipped with a gladius.
Just a metal sword. Just a gladius. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he wearing any armor?
He is not. He has put his loincloth back on since, though.
Okay, well, given what happened last time, I'm going to take precautions. Oh, actually, how much is my mana at the moment? Because before it went down to 1.
Mana should have recovered by now, I think, because you're a fresh day. I can't remember what I wrote for mana recovery. Let's have a quick look-see, but yeah, it should have recovered by now.
Okay. I will take precautions and cast mage armor on myself.
Okay, so you move up. Oh, hang on, up the initiative. Wait, why isn't it moving? Come here, there we go. So you move up 5 slots for casting a spell, and mage armor. So, find it in the list. You gain 5 armor.
Nice.
But each time it is your turn in initiative, you roll a d20. On the result of a 1, the spell ends.
Okay.
So, Hostinius.
Okay, I want to sort of like go into sort of a bit of a combat crouch and start moving around to one side. Hope it's sort of like trying to get him between me and one of the other ones.
Yep. So you try and sort of get that sort of 60 degrees. Actually, is because I've done a lot of sword fighting. Get more than 60 degrees, it becomes almost impossible to defend. You can't hide behind your shield anymore. So, yeah, you reposition. Do you want to attack as well?
Yes, I will, yeah.
Because you can easily outmaneuver him. He's surrounded. But, yeah, there's too many of you for him to get positional advantage.
I will attack.
Okay. He will defend against you. Which moves him to here. What's your attack speed? And after you spend stamina?
Attack speed is 6 without any. I'm not spending stamina at the moment.
Okay. So, God, I'm trying to remember how the system works now. I can't remember. It's been 2 weeks. So, making an attack, you roll your attack dice, don't you? And then he rolls his defend dice.
I roll my d12.
Yeah, it's highest ones.
Shit.
Ties favour the defender.
It's lowest, isn't it? What else is good?
No, you want to get above him. He got 30.
I got 2.
Okay.
He got what?
To hit him. He just you go in for a lunge, and even though he's not even facing you, his sword just whips over behind him and flicks yours out the way. The Pict.
The Pict is going to spend 4 points of stamina to take his attack down to 2.
Down to 3 is the lowest.
Okay, 3 points of stamina then.
Yeah. Okay.
Take his attack down to 3.
And presumably you're going to...
I'm attacking.
Yeah.
So, me and my gladius. Yeah, me and Phil are totally twinned at the moment.
Okay.
I rolled a 2 and all.
So as you kind of come in from the other side on him, as his in the same blow as he's defending Hostinius, he just brings his sword over and collects yours as well, knocking it hard downwards, and it actually kind of hurts your wrist for a moment because it kind of the shock of it blade.
That's gonna smart tonight.
Meanwhile, he then follows up. He's facing you, Ronnie. So he just sort of brings the gladius round and sort of goes to attack, and you can defend.
I will defend. I have a defense speed of 3.
Okay. Wait,
That's
that's
me.
the wrong
That's me.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting there. Yeah, he attacked for 10.
Not been good.
It was nice knowing you guys. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, the tables have turned.
Hey, you have been struck for 9 damage.
Yeah, well, there you go.
As he brings this
Things
sword,
and roundabouts.
after defending, he kind of leaps forward, and it's like this daring, stylish leap that's in slow motion, and you can like the swing is so graceful. You just know that he's bruising his inner thighs, and it comes down at you, crashing onto your clavicle with this wooden sword, and it is such a blow. Like, you're like, bloody hell, any harder, that would have broken the bone.
Hey, you're all right, big man.
And then he does it again. Let me see the pick. So you're going to defend again, yeah? Was it defense speed 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Make the roll.
I rolled a 5.
So did he. So with the second one, though, he's gone too far past you, and you easily parry it. The goal.
It is I.
You indeed.
Okay. So while he's all busy with the other two, I'm going to, kind of launch myself in, try and get like a weak spot or a window where I can just sort of jab at his naked flesh.
So what's your attack speed for this attack?
So maximum 3, isn't it? So I'm gonna spend 6 to make it 3.
Mm-hmm. All right, roll your attack.
8.
Yeah, he just like effortlessly, it's almost like part of his stride as he's sprinted sort of past Ronnie, and he just kind of brings his shield down as he's walking. That collects your gladius, and then he's sort of getting himself back into position to attack. But before he can, Hostinius,
I jump forward and attack him.
Wow.
with attack speed of
Attack speed of what's that to? Here we go. 6. Actually, I'm going to spend 3 stamina on that to make that 15, 12, 3.
Oh, I didn't roll the d20. Sorry, should I do that now?
D20. Oh,
For the
yes.
spell.
Your action, yeah, absolutely.
15.
Yeah, you're fine. It's only on a 1, it dispels.
I can't remember if it was a 5 or a 1, but yeah.
That's a 9.
A 9. Okay, you do actually strike him.
Ooh. That's 2 weapon damage.
You collect him, and he says, well done indeed. Better than I thought. Okay. You, Gaul, and the cheetah, he gestures to the Pict, we will go again. Oh, wait.
I decide at this point that my the kind of polite version of myself that I am when I'm at the Ludus isn't going to work here. I'm going to have to be the character I am when I'm in the Colosseum. I'm going to go the whole hog now and just be the Pict.
Well, yeah, isn't that the point? We're berserkers.
And without warning, really, he just begins and goes straight for you, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Freedom!
What defense would you like to use if you're rolling dice? You can spend stamina
I
down.
already have a defense of 3.
Okay.
I already have a defense speed of
If
3.
you spend some stamina, you can act before him. Oh, yeah, because defense you can bring down to just 1 by spending stamina.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
I will spend 2 points actually to take it to 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's attack you can bring down to 3, defense you can bring down to 1. Right, so what is your defense?
My defense I've just rolled as a 9.
Okay, he clouts you round the side of the head, it strikes your ear, and he does 9 points of damage.
What, have you taken it off?
Close to.
Fuck.
What the fuck is he rolling?
What, has he got D20s or something? Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Of course he has.
Right, I dropped then because I'm at my
Yeah,
4.
you just actually fall unconscious. Like you see a dragon and Pegasi and the woman you were fantasizing about last night when you were asleep. And oh look, there's a taxi.
There's a haggis.
Well, it was a gripping. It was a very gripping dream.
Okay. In that case, as a reaction, I'm going to try and cast Shockwave on this guy.
Okay, you will hit the ghoul's body with that as well. You realize?
I am the goal.
Sorry. Oh, I've hit the wrong one again. God, it's so confusing. Right.
I know I'll hit the Pict's body, but he's down, so I don't care.
Okay.
I'm also going to spend a little bit of stamina as well to bring my thing down. I'll spend 2.
Oh, you can't with spells. Sorry, it just takes that.
Can't you? Okay.
Actually intonate them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I did tell you actually. There was a are you deducting the mana? Mage armor is 12.
You didn't say.
So
So
mage armor is 12 mana.
Yep.
Shockwave is 4.
Oh, okay. I can still just about do it.
Actually, no, the Pict is lying down, so the shockwave will miss him. Yeah, so that's actually fine. Are we tracking morale in this? We haven't been, have we? No.
No.
Okay. Don't worry about that then. So, yeah, he is struck by it automatically for 2 stamina, and also 3 health divided by his armor, which is none. So he loses 3 health. So yeah, and it's just automatic. You spent the mana. So yeah, this. I mean, you're already buzzing, like audibly making a buzzing sound from this mage arm, which is kind of like an eggshell around you, and then you erupt out this wall of energy. You can actually see the shockwave as it flashes out in an instant, and he is blown back. He doesn't lose his footing, but he's kind of then it's the Pict is down, so we move him off. Then it's his go, and then he rushes forward.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm gonna bring my defense speed down to 1.
Okay. And roll your defense.
Oh right, yeah. Show memory now how to do this again. That's a 4.
Okay, and he hits you in the arm. It does 4 points of damage.
It's fine. Doesn't even scratch me.
You've got mage armor, so 4 divided by 5. Is it rounded up or down?
Well, my total armor now is 6.
Okay, yeah, so 4 divided by 6. I'm just working out which way it rounds, because it's either 0 or 1. Weapon divided by armor value of the defender, and this rounded down. So yes, you're right. He actually just bounces off the eggshell that's protecting you, and he's like, and he goes for it again. It just this time he like really tries to thrust in there, with all his might. Do you want to defend?
Well, what else can I do?
You don't have to. You can take the hit and rely on your armor.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
You've seen what happens when people get the hit.
What's your defense speed?
It's defense speed is 3.
Okay.
But again, I'm tempted to bring it down by 1.
Yeah, because otherwise he will act first again.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'll do it.
Okay. Make your defense roll.
Yeah. I rolled a 4 for it again.
Okay. So did he. So it is now you first.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna try and get in again with the Gladius.
Okay.
7.
Yeah, he just he blocks it with the shield easily. What's your attack speed, by the way, for that attack?
It's 9, but again, I'm gonna put it down. What happens when your stamina reaches 0?
Oh, you can't. Well, no, you can't go beyond 0.
I know that, but does anything happen to me
No.
specifically? Like,
No.
okay. In that case, I'll bring it down to 5, because that's the best I can do.
Okay. So it's his action next, and yeah, after you strike him, he tries to sort of come up and underneath your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Make your defense
2.
if you wish to. And what's your defense speed?
3.
Okay, so he strikes you for 10. So
Ooh.
divided by 6, it's going to be 1. Does 1 hit point.
Okay. I'm still standing.
Okay. And it's his go next, and he says, "Ha! Well, the magic's a nice touch, but you're going to need to develop those skills. But I see potential in you. You lasted longer than your friends. I will train you."
Good.
Okay. So for the rest of the day, he gives you tuition.
Cool. Okay. What do we say to death? Not to die.
So you may increase one of your stats. Which one do you choose?
Oh my god. Probably defense because it's a D4. Seriously.
Yep. So you can move that up to a D6.
Sweet.
And then that's kind of it for the day. You then get a few days rest. You are given porridge now, but you're still very much on meager rations. They're not being
Better than moldy bread.
but for the next 4 days, you do get fed and you continue to train, and so basically over those 4 days, you will gain back 12 hit points in total.
The first time my hit points are back up to max. Presumably stamina's the same, right?
Sorry?
Presumably stamina's the same. It goes back up.
Yeah, that'll be full straight away, as will your mana by now.
Yep. And then again, presumably mage armor's worn off.
Oh, yeah. Ages back.
Okay,
Not long after the fight.
I'm just checking. It's a play test. I'm checking.
Okay. So, and then on the next day to happen, riding into the courtyard is the owner of the Ludus with a cage of with one person in. Looks like to be some kind of servant for in the house, you think. And as he gets into the courtyard, his daughter comes running out. Austinus remembers her. "Daddy, there you are. there you are, one of the gladiators. He was rude to me. I want you to get rid of him. And he says, no problem. Which one was it? And she points, and I rolled this, to the wrong person. Because to her, you all look the same.
Hostinius isn't even from Gaul or Scotland.
Yeah, it's a Roman, but
Roman.
she just saw a muscular man with dark hair.
So she's pointing at me.
No, it's just a random other gladiator in the Ludus.
Oh, that's,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
fantastic.
Just so you said that you point to the wrong person, and your hand pointed my way, and I'm like, oh God!
Well, I was trying to rack my brains and thinking, has your character got red hair? In which case, fuck, it's probably me.
Got away with it. Yay.
You fluky sod.
Oh, there.
Well
So,
done, I said.
the gladiator is given 300 lashes.
Whoa.
Is then sent to apparently there is a private gladiator thing tonight in some rich person's house. Having just finished the 300th lash, this guy can't even, he passed out ages ago and they continued lashing him. He is then woken up, doped up with a berry of deadly nightshade, and then sent off with all the fresh gladiators who haven't just been whipped to attend this bout. And you see the owner of the Ludus whispering a few words in Maximilius's ear just before they leave, and Maximilius kind of looks over and sort of points to this gladiator that got pointed out, and the owner nods and then walks off. Later that night, they do return, sans the other gladiator.
I whisper to Hostinius, don't do that again.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been talking to her.
Don't
Don't do it again.
Don't engage.
Okay, I won't do it again.
And I have learned the lesson of never, ever, ever try to out insult someone when clearly I'm going to be in the wrong.
I won't do it again, but I think she liked it really.
Next time she might point at you. Or even worse, she might accidentally point at me, and I have no real wish to have 300 lashes. Thank you very much.
You're from a place further south than me doesn't mean the sun shines out your ass.
The next morning, you wake up and all the gladiators are summoned, and you realize there's about 25 gladiators in this Ludus. And you're all summoned, and you go out to the courtyard, and everyone's sort of ushered into stand in a line with the hands behind their back, and the trainer Aetius is like, make yourself look big. Come on, puff those chests up.
Stand up and
That's it. And then out walks the daughter that you saw before. And she walks down the line. And she goes, you to one random gladiator. And she walks down a few more. And then she gets to one. She looks them up and down, walks around. You. And then she walks past you all, but when she gets to Hostinius, she stops,
she can recognize me.
looks at you, eyes you up and down, and says, and then walks off. And then all the gladiators she picked out are sent to follow her. The next day, It is
I
a
see that
normal training
we're part-
day.
We're part gladiator school and part stud farm at the fair.
It's like the Bachelorette.
Yeah, except when the bachelorette doesn't choose someone, the fucking loser doesn't get 300 lashes.
Yep.
The next morning, as far as you know, you would just be training. However, you go out into the courtyard in the morning and it is raining. But it is not raining water. It is raining ash. And with that, we'll take a little break.
Okay.
Dear me.
Oh dear.
I am back. Hello, the Pict. Hello.
I am here.
The pit.
Oh, I keep calling him Faustinius.
The
Yes.
Pict of Despair. All I know is he was involved in the lineup there, and he wasn't picked.
It could have been a very unfortunate name for you. He was picked.
He was picked.
The pit.
He picked up a bad habit,
Ah, dear.
and Stephen will be able to tell you I could make that pun run for miles.
Wouldn't have you any other way.
Well, you know, it's just me. Sometimes I'm having a good day today, so I'm in a bit more of a buoyant mood.
I didn't know actually if I should have winked at her as she was going down the line, but I thought I'm not going to get away with it this time.
I actually thought I thought you were in for it there for a second.
So I thought she was going to pick. Oh no, it was him.
I actually did think I was sitting there going, "Oh God." I think it would have been really funny if she'd actually picked you out for the stud farm.
I was tempted.
Had her wicked way with
Wait,
you,
what? What's
and
the song?
still didn't recognise you as the guy who had been rude to her. That would have been fun.
Oh.
So yes, you go out into the courtyard and it is raining ash. And other gladiators are kind of in the courtyard, all kind of looking nervously bewildered.
Hmm.
And then a shadow comes over the Ludus, and as quick as it appeared, it goes again.
Where the ash disappears,
stop.
you mean?
No, the ash continues going. There is a shadow comes over the Ludus, just
Aha.
moves across it,
okay.
and then as quick as it appeared, it's gone again.
Oh,
Just right, just for clarity. See the guys who went off for the stud farm, they did come back.
I was about to actually comment on that. Coming out the other side of the villa into the courtyard are the three guys that were picked. They look exhausted.
and this is a private house.
Absolutely
There.
exhausted.
Wow.
I was suddenly worried there that this ash was their terrible remains. That they'd been fucking. That she'd had her wicked way and then disposed of them so they could never reveal her secrets. See, if
And
you
then-
really want to get her, you've got to kiss her right there.
As they start kind of walking across, because they haven't had breakfast yet, so they're heading back to get their breakfast. Descending from the heavens, low over one of the outer walls of the Ludus, the west wall, and diving into the courtyard in a cloud of dust was something large with wings. And all you can see is dust. And in fact, you have to start coughing because of how much dust was kicked up. There is an almighty roar, sounded like the dinosaur sound effects in Jurassic Park, frankly. And then there's this kind of thud. And another, as wings, you can just see them moving in the dust cloud, are taking off. And as they do so, this audible shock that actually blows your hair back, echoes across the courtyard. And you can kind of see through the dust that, yes, it's a dragon, and it has those three guys in its talons. And it lets them go, and they start falling, and they're screaming, one of them trailing a lot of blood because the talon must have pierced him. And they fall, and then they land on the seating area around the little mini fighting pit thing. One of them breaking his back instantly on the wooden palisade thing barrier. One of them crashing through some of the wood, and then the other one you think landed somewhere in the fight pit, but you just hear the crack.
Hey, well, if they weren't well and truly fucked before, they are now.
I hope that doesn't happen too often around here.
All I can say is, next time she does that lineup thing, let's find a reason not to be in it if that's what happens afterwards.
They appear to have a pest control problem.
And as the dust sort of starts to clear, you see the dragon is circling back around.
Oh,
and is starting to come back.
can we get her undercover?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got like you can basically hide in this kind of walkway behind the arches there. It's like a covered pavilion type thing.
Where's Maximilius? I reckon we could just hide between his legs, and that's just enough of a shadow.
I'd rather not, in case I get hit in the face.
Maximilius has just kind of emerged, and like he looks concerned, and he kind of sort of goes up to the column of the point to it, that one of these columns here, sort of puts his hand on it and kind of sort of looks out, and then landing again, immense dust and the sound of the wings as it thuds down. The dragon lands on the edge of the training pit next to the bit that broke when the guy collapsed through it, and riding on the back of the dragon is Titimama. And the dragon sort of bows its head, and Titimama steps off, and she jumps down from, get out of the way, she jumps down from the railing and kind of just lands in the courtyard. It's quite a big drop. She's got
a shockwave.
She's got a big warhammer in her hand. She kind of just like swings it over her shoulder, and she's kind of strolls forward. And the way she walks, because she turns her body as she walks, but the turning of the body kind of follows the head, just because there's like so much body, and it kind of has its own momentum. But then as she kind of stops roughly in the middle-ish of the courtyard, she tenses her muscles, and you realize that that's not fat, that's muscle. And where is ATIs?
Can we see him anywhere?
And
I think that's you.
he
No, that's the trainer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is the trainer.
Oh, okay.
He comes out and he says, Titty Mama, what privilege to have you visit our Ludus.
I give Hostess a glare.
I wanted to make sure those 3 new recruits of yours are getting well trained. I want them to be delicious when I beat them.
So that's actually gets some protein.
Suddenly, I sit there and start really regretting the fact that I trained as a warrior rather than a quartermaster.
Yeah, if we had just trained as a trainer, then we'd have been fine.
Yeah.
I'm rather smiling at the fact that our trainer is called Aetius, because that's a very Scottish name.
Oh, is it? All right.
Well, it is. You know, how many were there? Well, there was Aetius.
Oh,
God damn.
that's awful.
I guess, yes, absolutely. Because if they disappoint me, I'll drag you out of retirement fist first.
Popcorn?
I'm not feeling too well.
Very used to fist first.
Come on, Poppy, let's go. And she turns back around and sort of she jumps up onto the bottom of the railing and kind of clambers up and then hoists herself over onto this dragon. And then it takes off once more, and again, you know, the shock wave of it and the dust, it's just astounding.
She's given it a name.
Sorry, I've just seen Steve's last comment.
I never watched On the Buses, so I don't know the reference.
No.
Yeah, let's just say I can understand why Stevie said it.
It's
Any clip
Sonoga.
on YouTube, and you would see why.
It's my ogre voice.
I also want to point out Steve's previous comment that says that I'm enjoying you guys getting a spanking. Me too, if I'm honest. Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
That's his inner sadist showing.
Aetius.
No, it's karma.
Aetius, do you think, might possibly have wet himself? It's like, right, well, we need to clearly do some work with you. You're going to be ready for that?
Oh, I'm just fine. I'm ready for
2
anything.
days.
The other two, on the other hand, they were beaten up a bit by Maximilius, I think.
No,
I mean, I hit him first.
Sorry, I missed that. Phil.
I hit him first. What do you mean?
But I lasted the longest.
Aetius, I have some 70 years left in me. I don't think there's enough time to make me ready for that.
Well, you have 2 days.
2 days?
If she's got Poppy with her now, she probably intends to use her. So
2 weeks, maybe.
Yes. If you would excuse me one moment,
No.
I go and find a scribe.
No, you must train. You must put on a good fight before you die.
2 minutes. It won't take long.
You don't
Scribe?
understand.
Scribe?
No, train. If you don't put on a good show before she kills you, then she'll kill more than just you, and that's important.
But in an interesting turn, in an interesting twist of fate, when she kills us, we'll stop caring about who else she kills after that. It's a whole spiritual cleansing thing.
If she kills me, I hope she does take a load of people with me.
I say to Sir Logan, you're very articulate for a Pict.
Well, yes. Just because we look like a bunch of ruffians doesn't mean we can't be educated. Don't mistake the Colosseum persona with the real person. You know, the Colosseum persona, that's a character.
He hasn't said Okai once, has he?
This is not a theatre play situation. This is a Colosseum.
Oh, please. Whilst it's certainly a matter of life and death and all the rest of it, it has been my experience that I have seen that all these gladiators are putting on a show. And who doesn't want to put on a show?
I would rather put it on with a lot less pointy things pointing at me.
You've managed to happily escape being lashed 300 times and sent to an early grave, and you've also managed to escape a night of wild passion followed by evisceration by dragon. I think you're doing well.
So some lowly servants are actually like picking up the bodies now, putting them on stretchers and carrying them away, and then mopping down the fighting pit.
God, there's going to be three gladiators down now as well.
Yeah, they're like having to mop up the blood and the bones, and like some of the bones have impaled themselves into the wooden seating area, and so. Like there's a whole part of someone's arm that they're having trouble removing, and so it is that you're actually moved into the fighting pit, and Aetius finally starts to actually train you, and so it is that over the next 2 days you may all gain 1 skill up. What skill would you like first of all, Phil?
What skill? Defense.
Yeah, mine's
stat.
Mine's defense as well.
So if it's defend speed, you can bring it down by 1. If it's defend stat, you gain an extra dice.
Be defense stat for me.
Yeah, I was thinking defense stat.
Speed's not bad. I've got a speed of 3. It's not bad.
Jason, you also get to do this?
Yeah, well, I was very much thinking putting up my attack stat to a D20.
Wow.
That's already on D12, so...
That is a bit of a jump.
Actually, let me just say, see if I've actually allowed players to go that high or not. Just check
if not,
rules.
they do the attack speed problem.
No, I allow D20s.
Speed.
Definitely needs a D16 in between, but not many people have those.
Well, exactly.
I had a
do
thought
have-
actually with regards to that, but maybe that's one to after the session's over.
It is
Yeah,
a big
sure.
jump, to be fair.
It is, but then
How about incremental D12 plus 2, D12 plus 4, D12 plus 6, D20?
well, D12 plus 6 is better in every way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could do D12 plus. Yeah. For now, just write D20. We'll worry about it later. Or I could just get the D16s out. Or you could just re-roll 17 or over. But no, for now, just write it as D20. That'll do. I'll decide during the week.
Well, you can always do, when it comes to D16s, you can just do the rough and ready version, which is a D20 and a D12, and half it.
Or roll a D8 and double.
Yeah, D8 double.
No, because that gives you D8 double gives you 2 to 16.
And a modal.
D20 plus D12 will give you 2 to 32. Half that, which is 1 to 16.
Yeah, but because you're rolling 2 dice, you're putting the modal, or you're creating a bell curve of probability.
I know.
Which
Why
will
I
do
said
less
it's the down and
damage.
dirty version.
Yeah, but it will do less damage. So you'd want 1d8 times 2.
That's the point. My weapon damage is currently 3. That doesn't change just because I've upped the attack stat, right? It stays the same.
No, that's just added if you hit.
Okay,
So weapons are like bonus damage.
cool.
Yeah.
Need a special dice roller with a D16 in it.
No, I think I'll just keep it going to D2A because, like, normally you wouldn't do stat improvement quite this way as the rules are written, but I just figured it was a better way to do it for how we're playing.
Yeah.
So anyway, because I do have a tier system, which is how Comp Plus runs it. So you just go up a tier, but I could be bothered. So yeah, you know, Titty Mama and Poppy. I need to add Poppy on my list of adversaries here, don't I? Because if I don't, I'll forget the name.
We've got to fight Poppy as well, haven't we?
That was what Aetius suggested. Like, if she's brought it, she probably intends to use it. Oh, balls! That changed them both.
Hostinus, did the Romans attack just half your village or the whole of your village?
Didn't attack my village at all. I am a Roman.
Well, there we go. You're a sheltered fuck.
He's a lucky bastard as well because he's avoided 300 lashes and a night of passion followed by dragon.
If I was lucky, I wouldn't be here, actually, would I? If I was lucky, I wouldn't have lost the gambling I was doing.
So anyway, it is the night before your big day in the Colosseum with Titty Mama. And you are given a special slap-up meal in the villa with the owner, who we shall finally name as, because I think he needs one. I'm going to call him
Ploppy the Dragon.
Yes.
I just thought of the Blackadder thing with like the last meal stuff with Ploppy. So funny juxtaposition.
So yes, you're invited into the main villa with the owner, and it's only you three brought in. And there's a meal on the table. It looks like a nice meal. He's sat at the table already. Take a seat. Take a seat. I don't think we've properly met, so I own you. You're my property. My name is Junior Caesar. And
Junior Caesar.
And yes, well, tomorrow my investment in you will be cut short, which I'm not too happy about. So, but I thought the least thing I could do, given your situation, was give you a nice meal, give you the best chance I can of putting on a good show, and that is really what tomorrow is about. And I wanted to talk to you about this. Is no matter what happens, I'd like you to put on a good show. It's very important.
At this point, I make a point of looking at Ataratos and pointing to our owner and saying, "Big show! See, even the boss says so. Big show."
It's a show for the people that's not in the arena.
I'm sure
Yes.
if my dead relatives were here, they'd be cheering me on.
Well, you'll get to meet them tomorrow. You could tell them all about it. So, but yes, it is really the only thing you could do to, save face, given what you're up against. I have spoken to Titty Mama's agent, and she is intending to use Poppy tomorrow.
Is that entirely within the rules?
Welcome to the Colosseum. There aren't particularly rules. Titty Mama thinks it will excite the crowd to bake you alive in flame.
That's because she's too worried she can't take us by herself.
I'm absolutely convinced she could. I mean, if you in any way to injure her, the crowd would likely turn against you anyway, because she's incredibly popular. So what I'd like
just win-win for us then.
what I'd like you to do is to be really dramatic, but not actually, hurt Titimama. Not that you will.
So you want us to be really dramatic, but not good.
Yes. Make her work for it, but don't hurt her. She's too important to Rome. Not that I think you could even remotely, because you're likely to be burned alive. But if you could last more than, say, 30 seconds.
Just out of interest, what would happen in the rather? I admit that this would be a very, very unusual circumstance, but what would happen if circumstances and so on, and fate and karma and so on, conspired to give us victory?
No, that's what I'm talking about. Putting on a show, entertaining people. Exactly that.
What if we do take her down?
The joke's past now. You don't. Repeating it's just not funny anymore.
No, I'm being serious. I'm asking you
we-
a serious question.
If we must be worth something to the Ludus if we took out the champion like that.
Oh, your names would go down in history. Yes, and I'd be able to make a lot of money off you if you were to do that.
Then surely that's more favourable to you.
Yes, but you're fighting Titimama, and she's bringing Poppy. Either one of those would kill you in the blink of an eye. The fact that she's bringing Poppy is really just to entertain the crowd.
She considers us a threat.
Not really. No, you've been in the Colosseum once.
And we made a heck of an impression, clearly.
Oh, two of you made it out. The other one limped, I understand. Or were you stretchered?
I think a friend was just having a bad day.
He just got. He was unfortunate. But he showed.
I'm afraid the carnage you caused upon my village distracted me a bit.
I caused no carnage. I bought you in an auction, remember?
Not you, your people.
My people? My gladiators only fight in the Colosseum.
The Romans invaded my village.
Oh,
without
you
reason.
misunderstand. I don't own Rome. I just own you and the other gladiators.
I think we just work it out amongst ourselves tomorrow.
Do not worry. We will put on a spectacular show, the likes of which the Colosseum has never seen.
Good. Now, what I think is we could wrap one of you up in tar so that when Poppy blows her fire breath, you'll erupt in flame, and then you could run around in circles as you burn to death. It
Or,
would look spectacular.
or, here's an interesting thought. We could cover Poppy in tar and watch as she immolates herself.
The dragons are immune to fire.
Yeah,
The whole effect has been done. They called it the Phoenix.
What are dragons not immune to?
Dragons flying around all burning up would be
But
far more.
I imagine that Titimama isn't immune to fire.
Oh, we could cover Titimama in tar.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try saying that 3
She's
times fast.
behind the dragon's mouth.
You could get some tubing.
A what?
We could direct the flame.
It's a dragon, not an aqueduct. Now, so yes, we'll put one of you in tar. That will be amazing. Now, which one of you do you think would last the longest
Well,
in a fight?
here's what I was thinking. Why don't we start with none of us covered in tar, and if it's looking really bad, then we can look at the tar option in the midst of battle.
Well, it would be too late to wrap you up in tar-laden cloth by that point.
Well, we could have barrels of tar. We can just jump in and dip ourselves in and run around. It'll all look very funny.
Barrels of tar. Now, that does give me an idea. You're right there. I think what we'll do is we'll lay out some tar on the sand so that as the dragon comes in, it's much more dramatic. No one's done that before. That'll be epic. The flames will be the biggest flame breath anyone's ever seen. Of course, you'll be down there in amongst it, but no, that's marvelous. Yes, we'll have the whole arena ground erupt in flame.
I need to stop giving them these ideas.
It's a better option than the last one. Just so it's not as bad as it could be.
If after finishing my meal, I will ask to be excused. I need a good night's sleep before we face Titty Mama.
Have some wine. Have some wine. It's all good. Now, as I was saying, which one of you do you think will last the longest in a fight against Titty Mama?
Well, the ghoul did quite well yesterday. Yesterday.
I believe his full name is Ataratus Hostinius Talorgan. That's the full name of the person we think will survive the longest.
I have no idea who that is, he says.
What I'm saying is the three of us together,
I see.
I believe, can give Titty Mama the death she clearly craves.
You're really not very bright, are you? So Gaul Hostinius picked. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying the three of us together. One unit.
When you did the compound name, you said random words.
I'm saying that we three together as one.
Yes, but I think you meant Gaul Hostinius picked. Not whatever those words were you used, surely.
No, I was merely amalgamating our names as one person. Three people under one banner.
Well,
your house.
Who the hell is Ataratos and who the hell is Talorgan?
I am Talorgan. That is my
Wait. You can't assert yourself as having a name now. We've already made the merchandise.
When I am out there tomorrow, you may refer to me as the picked, and I will play up to the stereotype quite happily. But here in this hallowed hall, in this house, my name is Talorgan.
Do you not get many goals on the Colosseum floor then?
Speaking of which, now, obviously you're going to get your pick of armor and weapons. Whatever I have, you can use. But I think for you picked, we obviously need to cover your body in woad. So no armor for you.
Well, I have a counter proposal. Let me have a breastplate and a helmet and a helm, and I will have woad on my face and my arms.
No, that won't do.
Unless-
Look, and he gets out the clay model, and you see, like we've painted woad patterns on the clay models.
We painted
I tell you what, you can still have all the woad on me that's on the models, but I'll wear a breastplate and helm over.
No, I think that would spoil the look. A helmet, certainly. We'll give you a helmet.
I'm surprised this is quite so much of a negotiation.
It really isn't.
I am well aware of the fact that as a slave in this place, I have absolutely no say. I am hanging on to what little minutes left of my life.
So, given that the Pict is going to go in mostly naked, possibly entirely naked, actually, which one of you two should we wrap up in flammable tar?
I didn't think we were going to do that. I thought you'd have strips of tar on the ground.
Well, that too.
Surely having that tar wrapped around somebody naked is more practical.
No, if they wrap it around me, they won't see the woad. I'm afraid the argument about me not wearing a breastplate applies to the flipping
What about
tar.
chest down?
So just half of them's in tar. That could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Unless they're hot enough without flipping tar over them getting fucking flamed.
So one of you two will have to wear the tar.
Sounds like a French thing to me.
I'm Gaulish, not French.
The only person showing any goal at the moment is the flipping owner.
I don't think Arvis are going to say yes to that one.
So you're saying yes?
No one's saying yes.
As in yourself?
No one is saying yes.
That's what I heard. So we'll go with you, Hostidus. We'll have you wrapped in flammable stuff. So once you catch light, just run around the arena for a little bit, and then yes, that's the right choice actually, because the Gaul lasted the longest against Maximilius, didn't they? So yes, that'll be right. And then Gaul, you just last as long as you can and put up a good show. Right. I think that settles it. We have a plan.
So yes, catch a light. Grab hold of her and hold her as long as humanly possible.
No! Don't hurt her. Die dramatically.
It'll be dramatic.
Right. Well, that's it. Feel free to take some food away with you, and
I take
enjoy
some food
your last night.
as I exit the house and head back to the Ludus. Scribe!
You're obsessed with the scribe character.
I'm going to
I
take
get hold of the scribe and I say, right, write down the following. I, Talorgan
Find a
the Pict,
gladiator who can write. Yeah.
I, Talorgan the Pict, being of sound mind and body, do bequeath.
You have no possessions. You're a slave.
Bequeath my body.
There won't be anything left. Why would it matter?
My ashes. I'll take a reasonable amount of food and I'm going to pass it out to the other gladiators when I get downstairs.
Okay. And so the morning comes around, and the Pict, you are met by 3 young nubile women who start painting your body. Ostinius and Ataratos, you may wear armor. You are given armor. You are given lots of armor. In fact, it's heavy plate is an option. But what you need to know is the bigger your armor, the bigger the penalty to attack speed.
Yeah.
What's attack speed at the moment?
Given how
6.
terrible my attack speed is, I don't want to take any armor with any penalties.
Oh, well, when you talk about doing that, they go, right, okay, well, that's fine. We'll just wrap you in flammable tar then.
Take some armor.
And then we'll give Hostinius the best chance of winning.
I'll have all the armor.
I can still last far longer than him. I can cast spells.
I
want as much armor so I can just sit there and you can hit away and not hurt me.
Okay, you can have heavy plate. Attack speed is +4. Armor is 5.
Attack speed is +4.
Is that for me as well or not?
Sorry?
Is that for me as well?
If you want it, yes. You can have heavy armor. I was just joking about the semi.
I'm going to tell the 3 nubile young ladies they're going to need more wood.
So
Yeah,
+5
I
armor,
finished
+4
there's
to attack
2/3 of
speed.
the pot left. Sorry, say again, darling?
+4 to attack speed, +5 to armor.
Correct. Let me just check how that interacts with mage armor if you do want to cast that. Although mage armor is a lot of mana. Yeah, it is. You would gain that on top. Although, to be honest, at that kind of level, divide by 5. It's what difference would 10 armor make over 5?
Well, indeed. That's what I was hoping for. It's a worthy sacrifice to making my attack speed now 13.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to attack.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, you'd need to.
You'd probably be spending stamina just to be able to do anything.
For you actually struggle to move in the heavy armor. You can take it, but you will be blowing stamina if you ever need to attack.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to rely on.
Well, I thought that was the only kind of alternative for me, or are you saying that...
No, there's armor in between. There's leather, chain, plate, and heavy plate.
Okay, right. I thought it was a case of you must take the heavy armor, or you...
No, I was saying it's available. That's the biggest armor in the game. And
Right.
It makes a lot of sense because the division on damage is big.
Yeah, I mean, how different is like the leather armor with attack speed, for example?
Attack speed +1, armor 2. So it's worth having at least leather. You could go to chain, which is attack speed +2, armor 3. You also, and you may do this as well, Ronnie, you can have a shield. So you can either have, you can have a heater shield, which will increase your defense stat by 2 dice sizes. Or you can have a tower shield, which will increase it by 3 dice sizes, but does increase your attack speed by 1.
I originally had a round shield.
So that would have increased your defense stat by 1 dice. So you'd need to factor that in when you're adding another or changing shield.
Okay, so really it should be a D8 for defense stat.
Because your stat was 4, you put it up to 6.
Yeah.
So yes, with a round shield, it would go to D8. But you can have a heater shield that would go to D10.
Right, so
my
my starter...
Or you go to tower shield and go to D12, but your attack speed would be impacted.
Yeah.
I'll
So I'm similar. I had a round shield.
Mm-hmm.
So my natural, because I put the training upgrade into defense. So my natural defense now is a D10 as opposed to a D8.
Trying to remember what your defense stat started as.
D8.
It was D8. So it's now naturally D10.
Now naturally D10. I've got that round shield. I'll take it to D12. But you're saying that
you can upgrade to a heater shield, which will take you to a D20.
D20. What's 3 up?
You can't go higher. It's a waste.
I'll take the heater shield then.
Mm-hmm. And you, Phil, do you want a shield?
I'll take a shield. I can always drop it.
Yep. So as I say, Heater Shield will add 2 dice sizes for no penalty, or you can go Tower Shield if you want to go up 3 dice sizes.
I've got 3 dice sizes. I can only go up to. I can only got 1. But I maxed it.
Oh, okay. So you just take out a round shield then. More dramatic by having a weaker shield.
So is that no attack speed?
No attack speed penalty on that.
No.
Shields are good. Always have a shield. Right, weapon-wise, do you want to change your weapons? Because you can choose anything.
I'm okay with that Gladius, actually. It's got a, I mean, it's that whole thing of I've got a decent attack. It's not the best of speeds, but I've got a decent attack on it.
Well, question. My attack speed is normally 9, but that's with a flail.
Mm-hmm.
So if I moved it to, say, a Gladius, would that make it quicker?
Yes, by 3.
Then I'll go for a Gladius.
You might want to consider instead a longsword, which will improve it by 2.
Okay.
But your attack stat would go up 2 dice sizes and you get +3 damage.
Your attack stat got 2 dice.
Sorry. In relation... No, hang on. Sorry. Let me do it in relation to flail. So if you go for longsword, your attack speed would improve by 2. Your attack stat would come down 1 compared to the flail, because the flail is +3 dice sizes. You would gain 2 defend stat because the flail is responsible for taking 2 defend stat off you. But you do the same damage as a flail, which is +3.
Because my attack stat to start with was D12, and now it's gone up to D20.
Yeah, were you factoring the flail into that attack stat?
Yes.
Okay, so
I think so anyway.
it would explain it, because that's quite a high attack stat for a mage. So you might well have just added the flail to your stats rather than kept it separate.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so if you were to switch to a longsword, you gain 2 attack speed, you'd lose 1 attack stat, and you'd gain 2 defend stat.
So I'd be on a D20 for defense stat.
If you switch to a longsword rather than a flail.
Sure.
Okay. Ronnie, so nobody's got a bow yet, by the way, in Dragon's Fly.
Yes, but when I've had a bow in Prize Fighter, that's never gone well.
Plus, see, we've got a different thing. We've got someone who can shoot out rather than a little thing on the end of a stick. We've got someone who can shoot out great big licks of lightning.
Yeah, once or twice.
Can we have a bow now? We've chosen shields, though.
Well, that is a good point, actually. You'd have to get rid of the shield to have a bow. That's a fair point. You probably want the shield more, in fairness. I don't know. It's up to you.
Here's the thing. I think what's going to happen is we're going to get entered into the arena, and then Titty Mama's going to make her big entrance with the dragon, because that's all
we're expecting.
So I say, as she's doing the whole lap of honor before she lands, spark her 1. I don't care if we lose the crowd.
Okay, so everyone happy with their weapon?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Gladius. It's a good weapon.
I've got a Gladius at the moment. I just wonder if I need something that does that 1 point more damage.
1 point more damage. Options are longsword and pilum and longbow and flail. So pilum is a type of spear. So
it bends down and so can.
Yeah.
Ataratas. Unlimited power. Best moment of Revenge of the Sith. ever.
It was
When you get an English actor who's decided it's full-on panto season.
Yes. But before that, there was the sort of funny, comical lightsaber thrust,
Yeah.
which also I was, what is going on?
It's kind of how I feel about suddenly talking about Star Wars when I was trying to sort Phil's weapon out.
I sort of think I'm thinking longsword because it sounds
Okay.
like quite a good.
So, did you have your weapon built into your base stats, or have you got it separate?
It was built in because I was a 10 and went up to 12.
Okay, so the difference then is your attack speed would go +1, so it'd be a little slower.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Your attack stat would gain a dice size.
Okay, 12 to 20, yeah.
Yeah, and your weapon damage would go up 1. So it'd be 3. There you go. You're fully buffed in Uber gear. And
Yeah,
so
I've
it
got a
is.
tank.
But you and here you are, like in the final room of the Colosseum, sort of picking out your gear, and there's the door at the end of the corridor, and you can hear the crowd beyond going tick tick ma ma tick tick ma ma tick tick ma ma boom boom clap. Yes, you're right. Boom boom clap.
Have they covered me in tar?
Yes.
Okay, I want to get on the floor and roll around in the dust.
Okay, you do it as soon as like no one's looking, and you get as much dust on you as you can. And now, what's happened though, as a consequence of that, is the sand has clumped to you, and now you're really heavy and stuff. So temporarily increase your speeds by 2.
Both of them?
Yeah, like add +2 to both. Temporarily. Make a note that it's temporary. It's from the sand clogging up the tar.
Shit.
Because like basically you've now got all this extra weight you're carrying. And nonetheless, you've muted the tar a little.
Oh, I just realized I didn't take any armor.
Oh.
I was so busy concentrating on my longsword thing. Leather armor?
Yeah, so attack speed goes +1, so it's a bit slower, but armor is 2.
Oh, right, so the attack speed actually increases.
Well, you get slower, so +1.
What's the chainmail again, sorry?
Chainmail is slower again, so it's +2 and armor level of 3. It's basically an incremental scale.
My attack speed is currently 13.
Okay, I'll just stick with leather for now.
Okay. And so it is that you hear somebody beyond shouting, and you think it's like an announcer, judging by the voice and the way it's bellowing, and you picking out the odd word, you hear Hostinus briefly, and then there's some gobbledygook, and then the Gaul, and the crowd doesn't quite react as much to the Gaul because the clay model was shit. And then at the very end, it says something picked something, and the crowd goes, boo! And there's whistling and jeering, and like the crowd is properly wound up at the prospect of you entering the Colosseum, and the doors open, and up behind you comes a legion of Roman soldiers, basically forcing you out. They're all like got their
you don't have to
they
force
just-
me.
they
I
just
walk
ram
in there
you in.
proudly. Mana to my ears.
But they force you in with such force. You all kind of like flat on your face and sort of having to get yourself dust yourself off.
I was going to say the ghoul and the pickle walk out and there'd be a gap before I just.
It's more like you're just tumbled out by this storming of this Legionnaire unit. It just kind of marches almost through you, save for the fact they've got those big shields, and you just kind of forced forward, and you kind of tumble out into the arena, and then they close the doors, and then you hear it getting bolted multiple times. And then you're kind of there, and the crowd's going. And then somewhere in the distance, behind you, above you, you hear the roar of the dragon. And we will end it there for this week.
Okay, versus that sheet then.
And we're feeling that power.
So, yep, that's it. So thank you very much for watching, Steve.
Yes,
hope you're enjoying it.
Steve.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit end broadcast and then get feedback from the guys of how much stuff I need to fix in the system.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye, Steve.